The Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Hello, welcome back to the brand new season of the Bristol Flyers Podcast. Thank you so much for listening to us. If you're listening on all major podcast providers, if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. We really appreciate your support. I'm Joel Osborne. He is Sam Hardy. We are two of the best British basketball buds out there in the world of British basketball. Sam, welcome back.
Thanks, man. I thought you were about to say we are two of the best podcast hosts in the world, which we are. Is that right?
Yeah, we're the two best friends that anyone
could have. We've got Dan with us as well. Danny boy, how are we doing, sir?
Yes, I'm well. Three of us here. Don't forget that. I'm here as well.
Yeah,
we're the
producer
two
Dan.
best friends, and Dan is over there.
Hello.
Yeah, just Dan pushing all the buttons for us. As always, behind the scenes, Dan, first of all, welcome back.
Thank you.
How was your summer?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I saw Oasis this summer. Mad for it, mate. Mad for it.
Ooh.
So that was good.
Was that actually good?
It was amazing. It was, believe the hype. They are fantastic.
Where did you go and see him?
Cardiff, night two.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, they started in Cardiff.
I
didn't they?
did, yeah. We went night two because Cardiff night one, we knew all the tickets were going to go. So, but yeah, we were there for night two.
You're too young to remember them the first time round, mate. What's your obsession with Oasis?
I listen to Oasis all the time. Like, I know I've not seen them live, but it's come from my dad, and yeah, they're amazing.
Well, I'm glad you had a great summer, Dan, because it's been a very busy summer at our end as well. We've got lots of news to get through. Some players coming in, players going out, new look roster, Super League basketball, kit launches, media days. It has been a busy schedule in the world of Bristol Flyers right now.
You've not told us about your summer, Jolly. What did you get up to?
Well, what did I do this summer? Oh, I went to Bali.
Yes, you did.
I
That
did
looked
go.
amazing.
Yeah, I went to Bali for 2 weeks, came back, went to Glastonbury for a week as well. And then the rest of the summer was waiting for things to happen in the world of British basketball. Because no matter how much preparation you do, no matter how much preparation you do in the summer, like, oh yeah, make sure I get this done in advance before the season starts. Always, the first 2 weeks of September are always the 2 weeks where it all stacks up on you and you're having to race against the clock to get stuff done in time.
So you want a bit of the Green Day on that one, do you? Wake me up when September ends,
Yeah.
please.
Wake me up when September ends.
Wait, who sings that?
Green Day,
Let's keep it that way, sure.
Brilliant. Yes, we are back, people. We are back. Well, focus firmly switches back to basketball season now. The summer is over. We have turned basketball mode on. I've missed basketball this summer. Have you? You missed basketball?
I'll be honest with you. I've really it felt like a really long gap. Do you agree with that?
It did, and then you look back at what you've actually done in the summer and it's flown by.
Well, I think this is my first year of not being in the Bristol Sport office, like in the the preamble before the season, and so I've kind of had my head out of it, and until it was like, oh flip, we got our first preseason game, and it's like, oh, we're getting ready. Whereas before, I felt like I sort of was involved with what was going on a bit more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it does. I feel like when you work in it, it doesn't stop. Where actually, if you are, and again, I haven't done this. This is my 12th season now, so I know nothing else. But I imagine when you're a fan, you're waiting so long to get any news or waiting for basketball to come back, and now it's finally back. And we've got a lot to catch up on. There's so much to talk about, actually, this week. And what we wanted to do also was welcome a lot of our new podcast listeners or watchers, if you're watching on YouTube, because our podcast has grown massively over the last couple of years. So welcome all to our new listeners or viewers of the Bristol Flyers podcast. I'm Joel. He is Sam. If you're new to the podcast, we break down all the latest in Flyers. We have guests on the show. All our players will be coming on at some point throughout the season. We'll learn about their stories. And basically, we want to try and educate some of our fans who are perhaps new to the game of basketball to help them become Flyers fans for life. FFFL. FFFLs. Is that right? Flyers fans for life? Yeah, it is. FFFL.
Joel, if you're such a Flyers fan, would you ever get some sort of Flyers logo tattooed to yourself?
No way.
No. Oh,
No way. I do know people who have a Bristol Flyers tattoo. Actually, we should probably get them on the podcast at some point.
I did not know that. Who can you say?
So
We've had Coach K on before.
Yeah, Coach K, he does have a secret Flyers tattoo. No, there is. Let me see if I can do some magic behind the scenes.
You're not going to say who it
Maybe
is?
we'll do a feature on it at some point.
Okay, interessant.
Hey, listen, podcast ideas keep coming, and for you this season, we want to hear from you guys. What do you want to see listen to on the Bristol Flyers podcast this season? We do funny games. We play around with our players. But if you want to reach out to the podcast, you can do. You can leave a comment in the comment section right at the bottom of the screen if you're watching on YouTube. If you are, or you can email if you're old-fashioned. You can send us an email, hello@bristolflyers.co.uk. Or actually, I'd say old-fashioned if you want to write more than a few characters that you're allowed to do on YouTube.
And if you want to send by carrier pigeon, if you're old-fashioned, smoke signals also apply.
Yep, also accepted. Also accepted.
Dan's going to learn to read smoke signals, aren't you, mate?
Yep, I'm going to send a telegram next week as well.
A fax. We've got a fax number.
Yeah, there you go. Well, we're usually joined by guests on this week's episode of the podcast, but because it's the first episode back, it is just Sam and I. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen this week on the show. We're going to break down all the new faces in the Flyers squad this season. Plus, we're talking about those two exciting pre-season games against Reading Rockets and Newcastle Eagles. Great results, by the way.
Unbelievable result. I love to see us winning in preseason. I know it doesn't really mean anything, but it does sort of give a little bit of an idea what's going on, doesn't it?
But yeah, lots to look forward to this season. Not only have we got the new look squad, we are returning to EMBL. Ice, 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 ice in the veins. Which reminds me, they're probably going to have a new song this season for EMBL, so that's a shame.
Oh, we'll have to come up with something else fresh.
Nah, it lives on, mate.
Help himself.
I love that song. And also, it's at the end of my touchpad as well, so I can play it whenever we like. But also, big news, Sam, and I don't know how much of this I'm allowed to talk about, but this season is also the expected start of the work taking place for our new home right here at Ashton Gate, a new 5,000-seater home. The Sporting Quarter is expected to start this season.
I'll believe it when I see it, Joel. I want to see with my very own eyes someone with a digger or even a spade, and then I want to see it happen right here, right now, and then I'll believe it.
Me too. But as soon as we do know more about that, we will also obviously update all of our supporters as and when. I think that's all the housekeeping bits from us out of the way. Shall we dive into some of these new faces, Sam?
Let's do it.
Wrong button.
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
First episode back, mate. So, it's taken a while to get back into it. But I'll keep it in there. Why not? Let's keep it in there.
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Right, let's talk about these new faces to the Flyers squad this season. Lots, as you said at the top of the show, lots of changes to our roster. Only 2 returnees from last season.
Are we going to... On that note, that is crazy because normally we at least have a few that come back, but this is a very fresh new season, isn't it? And actually, I'm excited about it, Joel. Excited about the return, excited about the new guys. I think it's going to be amazing.
I was going to ask you if you were surprised perhaps by there only being 2 players returning from last season's squad. Obviously, players, it's like in the off-season. The way it works in basketball, everyone signs 1-year contracts. So, we often have players who stay for multiple years, but each season they agree new terms on a new contract, and we have to announce them in the summer. No, we've never really had players sign on multi-year deals historically for Bristol Flyers. And it's not really a thing we see across the league either. Every team in our league is very much in the same position. Even like European basketball in general, it's a very common thing for players to just be signing 1-year deals because for one, it allows the players to explore other options in the summer. And for 2, with the squads, some of the clubs that have smaller budgets, it allows them to have a bit more freedom when it comes to making changes. Otherwise, you have a player tied down for multiple years. So it works both ways for both parties. Obviously, some players from our season last year moved on to new opportunities. Some players were not retained. And as a result, and obviously, you have to bear in mind how we finished last season. So we finished 7th last season. So you do have to you have to feel after that season as a whole, changes probably would have had to have been made because if you keep the same squad, you're going to have the same results essentially, right?
Yeah, and I think it's tricky because when you've got a core of sort of British players that have come up through the ages, they were always going to retire at some point as well. So some of those guys got to near the very end of their career. We're going to talk about Les, I imagine, and also Raf as well. Those guys were probably going to end at some point anyway, weren't they? But what I do love is probably since, you're going to have to correct me if I'm wrong, but since the Mike Miller era, we've at least managed to retain an American for 2 seasons since that point, if that makes sense. So we had Mike Miller came for 2 seasons, and then was it Tevo?
Yep.
Came for a season, then another season, and then
Yep.
we had Keedy join.
Yeah.
And Keedy went for 2 seasons, and then Owen joined, and
Yep.
Owen's here. I know he's not really American, but have you ever spoken to him? He American.
Yes, exactly. And it's very natural for players to move on as well. However, it does mean we've got a lot of new faces to talk about. But let's start by talking about the returning guys. You mentioned Omak. Omak is back. Season number 2. Flyers captain this time around.
Omak attack. We've not thought of that before.
Captain Cormac.
Captain Cormac is a great name. Hey, that's new as well, isn't it?
Yep, very new this season. Owen McCormack. Well, he was obviously the first player to re-sign with the club. He was the first signing we announced way back when at the start of the summer. It was only confirmed that he would be club captain literally a couple of weeks ago.
That's what I mean. But we only put the post out this week, didn't you?
That's right. Yep, that is right. So, I love the way that he's been playing this season because you look at the preseason game, which we'll get onto later, against Newcastle, putting up some big numbers. And actually, I've obviously been into practice a few times as well. He's very vocal in practice in terms of communicating with players. Is really great to see. And only for his second year as well with the team, to be named club captain is a very big responsibility.
Well, what I'd say, and we could have seen this last season easily from the sidelines, but he really cares, doesn't he? He really wants to win. He really wants to do the best by the team. He's not one of those who's just going to do something to get stats for himself. He is about the team, and if he's a natural leader and he's able to put up some good numbers too to like sort of lead from the front, happy days, Jolie.
Yeah, so Captain Cormac is back for season number 2. He averaged 6 points, 4 rebounds a game last season. Great bit of news for Flyers fans to start off the summer. One other player returning for this season from last year's squad, Pasquale Landolfi, who I feel towards the back end of last season really improved on his game, and his confidence as well was a lot higher towards the back end of last season.
So I love Pasquale. What an absolute legend. He came and trained with us, my Spartans team, over the summer quite regularly, Joel. And, we would have our sort of runarounds and our sessions. We worked hard. And, you can ask him himself. He said it was his favourite scrimmage to do in Bristol, so I quite enjoyed that. But you've got to see this guy. He is so much better than, I don't think we've still seen the full Pasquale on the court, mate. He does some unreal things that I'm thinking we're going to see more of this season as well. So, yeah, excited about that.
Yeah, season number 5 for Pasquale now with the Flyers. So he's almost turning into a bit of a veteran player on the team. Obviously, he came up from the under-18s. Then he played for Flyers 2 back in NBL Division 2. And now, staying with the first team, getting more minutes, a lot more confident out on the court, and is a legitimate threat from deep this season, which I think is a common theme this season with we'll talk about this a lot, but like the versatility of the team this season, players that can play multiple positions, but also the 3-point shooting. We've got players that can get shots up. I'll tell you that. And you probably saw that from the preseason games as well. We were getting up a lot of threes, a lot more efficiently, I feel, than previous seasons.
Well, we will come on to that, and we will talk about that went down, because most people wouldn't have had, obviously, the opportunity to watch the Newcastle game, probably just see the stats come up afterwards, or what you were putting on social media. So I'm excited for everyone to see the team in full flow. Obviously, our new big, who we've just announced, Brody.
Darnell Brody.
Darnell, we'll come on to him as well, but he added something to the court that we didn't have on Friday night. So I'm excited for the guys to see him this Friday.
Let's talk about some of the new guys onto the team this season then. Plenty of new faces for Flyers fans to meet.
Can we please do it out number order, because that will just feel good for me.
Yeah, let's do it. Number order. Let's start on number 3. Who's number 3, Sam? Pop quiz.
William Yoakum.
Correct. Will Yoakum is number 3. I'm going to test you on this as well, actually. It's quite a little test for you throughout the podcast.
I had to very much learn these on the job on Friday night. So, but yeah, I think I've got them. So we're good to go.
Yeah, I mean, if you're learning, I can't imagine what the Flyers fans are thinking.
Yoakum is a boy. I am telling you, that guy can fly, can't he?
Yep. He's incredibly athletic. Blocks, dunks, a crazy putback in the Newcastle game.
Have you got a clip of that?
No.
Oh, that was honestly disgusting, by the way.
A couple of big dunks in the Reading game as well, but also his efficiency and his ability to play within the offense as well. You looked at one thing I noticed from watching the Newcastle game is that players were starting to pay him a lot more attention, almost to a level where you feel like it creates opportunities for other players a lot easier. So let's say, Joachim has a very efficient start to a game. Players are doubling him out on the perimeter. All of a sudden, players like McCormack are open inside. That's why he had a massive game on Sunday.
Yeah.
In that preseason friendly. He's extreme and also great guy as well. So I can't wait for him to come in here on the podcast because, and again, I feel like this is a common theme throughout the season. The basketball IQ on a team is a lot higher, I feel, than previous seasons. Players, the way they're talking to each other, the communication, it's all feeling very good at the moment. I guess it is because it's pre-season and it's very early to be talking about this sort of stuff, but I just feel like there's something different about this team this season. I can't quite put my finger on it.
So with Joachim, are we expecting, obviously he's very athletic, but what's the outside game like? Can he shoot a bit?
Yep. So he's also a three-point shooter. I've got some great stats here for you. He, in his college career, in his senior year, his final year at Nova Southeastern University, it was 2022-2023. Nova Southeastern are an NCAA Division II team. He led their team to a perfect 36-0 record.
Wow.
They also lifted the NCAA Division II National Championship that year. That is the equivalent of March Madness, but in NCAA 2 levels.
Yeah.
In the season also, he led Division 1 and Division 2 for three-point field goal percentage.
What's the percentage?
53%.
Oh my. Okay, fine. Yeah, he a shooter. He is a shooter and he can jump. This guy is going to be a special. He has some nice finish around the rim as well. He's got some nice touch, doesn't he? So I'm excited.
You want to hear something else about him?
Nah, I'm all right.
2023. After he graduated, he was part of the Chicago Bulls Summer League roster in the NBA, coming out of NCAA Division 2.
Okay, this guy is special.
He is.
I'm ready. And it's Joachim, right? That's what we want to say.
Will Joachim, excellent signing. No.
Oh God.
Have you got the Tweety Pie?
It's going to be a long season, isn't it?
Joachim, you're not going to cut the joke though.
Cracking, isn't it? Cut the yoke. Oh, we're so back to it. Oh, buzzing.
The thing is, I kind of like these jokes, so yeah.
Yeah, me too. He had 19 points in the game against Reading, 15 points in the game against Newcastle, showing he can be a really consistent threat on the offensive end. Very early days still, but promising signs so far. You have to remember also, by the way, they've been together for 4 days before the Reading game.
Some teams actually have a way longer preseason, don't they? Like the Surrey guys were there for ages.
Yep. And there are teams that have been around for a long time. Obviously, Andreas was away with the GB team at Eurobasket,
which was so cool, by the way.
It was really cool. He was doing scouting reports on Luka Doncic in preparation games. Do you know what I mean? Like going up against Germany, which I know the result didn't go their way, but Germany went to go win the whole thing. Massive experience for him. Obviously, then coming back on the Thursday, the Monday after that, we're straight into the first full session as a team. And then the Friday that week, we're playing Reading. So it's like you have 4 days of practice. You don't have much time to get across what you want to get across. So, I do feel for the team in that way. However, lots and lots of games to come this season. Like if you look at last year, EMBL and SLB, we're up over 50 games in total. So it's only going to take a few weeks for the team to really, for us to really start seeing the potential of this team this season, which is super, super exciting.
Yeah, I feel really excited about this team, genuinely.
Yeah, me too. And all the Flyers fans should feel excited too. Zach Anderson next up on our list, jersey number 4. He's obviously from United States, joins the Flyers as a rookie out of George Mason University. Only a couple of rookies on the team this season. And again, I think that was another thing that Andreas wanted in the roster, is not to have too many players that are coming into this experience new out of college. You look around our squad, we've got players that have played seasons in Mexico. We've got players that have played seasons in SLB and Cam Holden, who will get. Oh, we haven't even spoken about Cam Holden yet, by the way. And experience was a key thing. And obviously you got players like Owen and that returning from last season, so they know what to expect. So I think that was a key thing. A couple of rookies in the team this season. George Mason is where Zach Anderson is from. He was a role player on that team. He had 5 points, 3 rebounds a game last season. He led his college, again, 3-point field goal percentage. He led his college in 3-point field goal percentage, 40% from downtown last season.
Flipping heck. I mean, in the Newcastle game, he went 3 from 4.
Yep. He's efficient. When he catches the ball in baseline as well, every time, I swear, every time it goes in.
And the guy in his face and all the rest of it, yeah.
He's got this perfect set shot where he doesn't really jump. His feet stay grounded on the floor, and he just a really quick release. And it's really nice stroke. And I think he's going to be quite a dark horse for us this season. He'll have some very efficient games. He'll do what needs to be done on both ends of the court. And he's a real stretch big for us, like a stretch four, which if you're new to basketball, stretch four is essentially a big man that can shoot the three-point jump shot. So it offers us lots of different options on the offensive end. And again, versatility, again, as a key component of the makeup of this squad this season. You'll hear us talk a lot about versatility this season because players can play every single position. I mean, we just spoke about Will Yoakum. He can play the 2, he can play the 3, can even do the 1, sometimes not mainly his position, but can play multiple positions. A little bit about Zach Anderson. Last season with George Mason, he helped his side being named Atlantic 10 regular season co-champions. They reached the conference tournament championship game for the first time since 2009. And again, in his first couple of games as a pro for Bristol Flyers, 8 points, 9 points in the 2 preseason games, really show his quality as a scoring contributor. 3 of 4, as you say, from downtown in that game against Newcastle Eagles. He's very comfortable around the perimeter.
Very excited to see him play more. Very excited. This is great.
Yeah. Should we get on to the next one?
Who's the next one? What number's the next one?
Number 7. Who's that, Sam? Pop quiz.
That is Cam Holden.
It is Cam Holden. And this was a big signing because, Dan, even you know who Cam Holden is, don't you?
Oh, I know who Cam Holden is. My goodness. Yeah, I was surprised that, I don't know, I always find it fascinating when players switch teams in the SLB. So I was really surprised to see that happen for us. It was great.
2 things about Cam Holden.
Go on.
First one, it's a bit of a shame he's on our team this year because one of my favourite things to do last year was Cam Holden called for the foul for holding.
Cam Holden called for the foul for holding. Yeah.
Oh, that was my favourite. But I suppose I can still do it this
You
year.
still do
That's
it. Yeah, you still do it.
fine. He is another one. Last year, we were talking about Evan Walsh.
Yeah.
He played for Manchester, and every time he played us, he was an absolute tank. And I feel like Cam Holden would have unreal games against us. Like, he can just finish some crazy... He's so strong. He can go to the hoop well. People are battering him. He gets a lot of and ones, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So I'm so excited to have Cam on our team this year.
He was one of the first players we announced back in the summer, and he was a big target for Andreas. We had a lot of conversations over the summer about Cam Holden. Cam was interested in making the move. They managed to work out terms very early in the off-season. It was one of the big announcements across the league right at the start of the summer. I think it surprised a lot of fans. And obviously, he's come to that experience as well from Cheshire. He was part of that team that won the trophy. He was part of that team that went to London in the playoff final that year as well. And also, you talk about versatility. He's a guy that can back down smaller defenders. He has that nice little hook shot that you see him do all the time that is really unguardable. He's an athletic defender. He can get hands in passing lanes, but also he can play the point guard. He can run the 1. He can literally run 1 through 4. And when I say 1 through 4 for the podcast listener, the 1 is the point guard position, 2 is the shooting guard, 3 is the small forward, etc. He can basically play in any of the 4 of the 5 spots essentially on our squad.
You're absolutely right. He's a matchup nightmare because you're right. He can back down the smaller defenders, or he's quicker than the big guy. He's quite long as well, isn't he? So he is a threat.
Yeah. Well, and you play him at the point guard, and he's like 6'7". 6'7" on my list. 6'7", and he's 6'7", and like he's athletic. So suddenly, when you're up against a smaller guard, all of a sudden you're above all the passes. You can see more passes opportunities than having a smaller point guard in that position. Obviously, we'll get on to Joe Anderson shortly, who's been the starting point guard so far through preseason. But Cam Holden, he's in the starting 5, but obviously can be a secondary ball handler when required. And that is a big thing for us this season, having players play all those different positions.
Well, we found if we're short, like with the point guard, like if they start pressing or double teaming or whatever, and we haven't been able to get out of it, we've now got 2, 3, 4 guys that can actually get out of things like that, who can be on the court at the same time and give us more options. I think this is... I love the versatility, Joel.
That's what I think is good, especially the point guard position this year. Obviously, you've got Joe Anderson at the point guard. You've got Jonathan Brown coming off the bench. And then you've got Cam Holden, who can just slip in there whenever needs be. If players are in foul trouble or you need something different at that spot, or perhaps you like that matchup at the point guard position, Cam Holden can very much run that position like a point guard and get the job done for us. Super, super exciting. Obviously, fans will know him from his 2 years with Cheshire Phoenix. As you say, played a key part in the trophy-winning team in 23-24. He was a real star in the league. And early in the season last year, he was one of the front runners for league MVP as well. He's got experience. And again, it's someone who knows British basketball. They've had experience of playing in this league. Like going to Cheshire on a Friday night is nothing new for him. Do you know what I mean? It's no shock to the system when you join the Super League basketball. When I do feel that a lot of Americans who come over to the UK, they'll be playing in front of 15,000 fans in some massive gym in NCAA Division 1, and then they'll come to the SGS Wise campus on a Friday night in front of 750, and sometimes that can be a bit of a shock for him.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And this is actually his third year now, isn't it, as a pro?
Yeah, that's correct.
So honestly, the sort of, we've got a captain in Owen and whatever, but these leadership positions are people who understand the league. He knows the referees as well. He knows what's going to happen, sort of all of it, Joel. It's really important that we've got people like him in the team. I'm really excited to see him play, and I hated playing against him last year. So
yeah, me too. Very happy he's on the Bristol Flyers side of things this time around. He averaged 14.6 rebounds, 5 assists a game last season, so really showing his ability as an all-rounder. On his debut, he had 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists in the Reading game, 3 steals in the 20-point win over the Reading Rockets as well. Again, just showing exactly what he does. He is a guy we are very excited to see this season and very excited to have here on the podcast at some point later in the season. Watch this space. Up next, number 9, Jonathan Brown, JB, new player to the squad. JB, I can't give you enough words to describe how much of a great character he is off the court. First of all, before we even get into the basketball stuff, what a guy.
Is he a nice guy, is he?
If you follow him on socials, you'll see he's very active on Instagram and TikTok in particular. There's a series of videos where he basically describes what it's like being a pro, giving advice to young players. Bit of an exclusive here for you. We've actually got him doing a player vlog series for the club's channels this season. So look out for that little JB player diary throughout the season.
Well, I saw we're probably going to talk about it at some point, but we've got a new kit partner in O'Neill's, which is there it is. You didn't see that, Joel. Pointed the wrong way. Well, they are here. They are on the back as well. I like that. O'Neill's and JB did a what's in the new kit bag sort of reveal on socials this week, which was really cool to see. So.
Some of that stuff, by the way. Oh, I love it.
O'Neill's.
We'll get onto that very shortly, indeed.
It kind of marries this whole thing up as well because, well, I know we're going to get onto it, but we O'Neill's do the Bears and City as well, so it's quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah, super exciting. So JB joins the Flyers. He joins us from Irish Super League side Sligo All Stars following his rookie season.
He would have played against Max Cooper, would he, at some point?
He probably would have. We should ask him back when he comes on the podcast at some point.
Yeah.
19 points, 5 rebounds, just shy of 4 assists a game he averaged last season. In terms of his college career, he played for Fresno Pacific. Who else played for Fresno Pacific?
How long ago?
Jelani Watson-Gale.
So 3 years ago.
He played at Central Methodist, Montana, and the University of the Cumberlands. Who else played at University of the Cumberlands?
How long ago?
Tevin Ollison. Great knowledge, mate.
You are an encyclopedia of anything basketball, but also, mate, you're a proper nerd. Okay, you're a nerd.
I'm a basketball nerd.
You are.
You get used to it.
Now, JB is athletic. There was this moment on Friday night at the game where he nearly chucked down one of the most disgusting dunks of the season. It just bounced off the back iron, which is a shame, but it was huge, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
But we'll see plenty more of that this season, I'm sure.
Oh, 100%. He did get a big dunk off of an assist from Marcus Delpesh as well, by the way. That was huge.
The thing is, Joel, I love dunks, but I want to catch bodies. That's what I want.
Oh, yeah. That's what we're all about here as well. Oh, I love a good facial. Oh, my God, a facial.
I mean, we will get. It's that putback by Joachim was a similar sort. I just love that sort of thing.
It was very good. Yeah. Again, another versatile player. JB can play the point guard, can also run as a combo guard, so multiple positions that he can play. He had 7.6 assists, 6 rebounds against Reading Rockets, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists against Newcastle.
He's a lefty as well, which adds something. I know it sounds silly, but it adds something different to the lineup, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. We've got a couple of lefties on the team this season.
Yeah.
Milos Duglic is a lefty as well. So there are players. Again, when we had Trajan Jacob, he was a lefty. Coach K loves a lefty. He does. Should we get on to the next one?
Yep.
Marcus Delpesh. He's back! You know, we had him on the podcast last season? Season before?
On with his brother?
Yeah, and we had him on the screen here. And I think off air sort of said something along the lines of like, would you ever see yourself come back to Bristol Flyers? And he was like, yeah, I don't never say never. And he sort of left it at that. And then before you know it, he's back here in a Flyers jersey, and he's back doing what he does best.
Mate, one thing you got to know about Flyers, we love a Delpesh.
We do love a Delpesh. It kind of felt a bit weird over the last 2 years not having a Delpesh twin on the roster. But now normality has resumed, and Delpesh mode lives on.
Well, he did get a huge jam on Friday night, didn't he?
Oh, he did. He did, yeah. It was a massive dunk. Honestly, will happily go on record saying this. I always feel both Delpesh twins, both Marcus and Malcolm, play better under Coach Kapoulis' system. Like the numbers speak for themselves, first of all, but they just feel like different players when they're in a Flyers jersey.
This is going to sound bad. I completely agree with you. I would often feel like in other lineups, when they came on against us, I was not as worried than other teams should have been when he came on against us.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
I completely agree. Just like being a lob threat, working off the pick and roll, it's just a different. It's like, you look at the and actually we sort of say this. The Marcus Delpesh we saw towards the back end of last season with Manchester, again, that was kind of shades of the player that we know best from his time in Bristol. Having him back now on the Flyers roster, I'm super excited to see how his game grows even further. Because if you look back to his first spell with the team, that last season with the club, the COVID lockdown season, he was a monster.
And also, he's not our only big option. Whereas I think for many of the years, we had a Delpesh as our main big option, didn't we?
Yeah.
So now we've got two different types of bigs that we can play with. And I think that's going to mess rotation up for other teams quite a lot. What do you think?
I agree. I think it's very hard to guard. He's an undersized big, but he makes up for it with his athleticism. And you've seen it over the years, just the ability to just catch lobs, finish offensive rebounds as well. Like, we love an offensive rebound. That's always been our identity over the last few years. And Marcus just brings that off the bench. He had that in the game, was it against Reading? He had 4 offensive rebounds in that game. So that, again, it just shows that's what Bristol basketball is all about. That's our identity. And he fits that mold as a player perfectly.
Well, I'd say weirdly, we almost went away from that identity a little bit last year.
Mm-hmm.
We missed a little bit of that aggressive sort of like front court offensive rebounds and whatever. But I can already see this team doing numbers that are good.
Yeah, I agree. Just a bit of a rundown then for those who perhaps weren't around when Marcus Delpesh had his first spell with the team. He is back in the squad following 4 seasons around the league. He had a spell in Sheffield with the Sharks. Last season, he was with Manchester Basketball, but now he's back in a Bristol Flyers uniform. He averaged 9 points, 5 rebounds a game during his previous stint with the club between 2018 and 2021. A key role in the side that reached the British Basketball League Cup final in 2020, just before the world shut down on us due to the pandemic. And again, against Reading Rockets, he had 8 points, 5 rebounds, 4 offensive boards, and a block. He is a versatile player. Have I said versatile on this podcast?
You need a more versatile word than versatile.
I should say versatile some more. Let's move on, shall we? We've got 3 more players to round up here in our new our faces in section, because we've got so many players coming into the squad this season. We spoke about Marcus Delpesh. Let's talk about Joe Anderson.
Right. I'm going to tell you all right now, this guy is exciting.
Oh, yeah.
He is genuinely exciting. His handles are unreal. He's so quick. He can shoot well. He's a good decision maker, good passer. I am buzzing about this guy.
ISO Joe, we call him. He's now a pro as well. It's his first season as a pro. Coming out of Lipscomb.
Who else went to Lipscomb, Joel?
Owen McCormack.
Oh, well, didn't Owen McCormack get Coach onto him in the first place?
This is a story we'd like to discuss with them both on the podcast this season. But obviously, Owen and Joe were college teammates the season before Owen joined us.
Mm-hmm.
Owen graduated, joined the Flyers for his rookie season. Joe spent 1 more year at Lipscomb. Last season, they had an incredible season at Lipscomb, one of the most successful seasons that Lipscomb has ever had, reaching the NCAA tournament. Incredible achievement for them. And now Joe has turned pro with us in Bristol, and it's a reunion. And once again, they are roommates, because they were roommates back in college as well.
Oh, isn't that... I bet they're loving that, though.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine they are. we're going to get them on the podcast at some point this season, then we'll dive into it a lot more detail. But again, Joe, as you say, rookie season out of Lipscomb, successful final year of college. It was their most successful Division 1 season last year at Lipscomb. Second ever NCAA tournament appearance, fourth ASUN regular season championship, a third straight 20-plus win season. That's a milestone that they only achieved once before in their Division 1 era. So Joe is coming in with momentum into the pros. He averaged 12 points, 3 rebounds, and just shy of 4 assists a game in his senior year. With Lipscomb, 6 20-plus point games on his way to third team All-ASUN and all academic team honors last season. And also, on top of that, he was named the ASUN 2025 tournament MVP.
Now, we've obviously seen him a little bit. We had him here on Friday, and but on the Newcastle game, if you weren't able to see it, like, it's really hard to. You can look at his stats and they look great, fine, whatever. But he hit one of the clutchest threes I've seen in a long time. Still more than 24 seconds left on the clock, probably about 35 seconds left on the clock. But we were down 3, and we were tying, weren't we?
Yeah, something like that. It was a huge 3,
but
basically.
Miles back, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he did it at the half time at the home game as well, where he just ISOs at the top and then just gets that shot off before the buzzer goes, sending us into half time. I think it was like a 10-point lead at half time or something. That shot from Joe gave it. Like, he just, the ability, he's a floor general, and he's I would say he's a pass first point guard, but he has the ability to shoot the 3 as well and create opportunities for himself.
Not just the 3 though, little floaters. He was able to do mid range. It was amazing, mate.
Yeah. So there's plenty to come from Joe Anderson this season, and I feel could be one of the key pieces to our rotation this coming year. So watch this space. Joe Anderson, our new point guard. Coming up next, number 25, Milos Duglic.
Milos. But he likes to be called Los, doesn't he?
Los,
like Milos. Los.
So there you go. You've got a nickname for him in Los Flyers fam. He joins us from Serbian KLS side, Varak Swiss Lion, and I've probably butchered the pronunciation.
No, you've not probably butchered it. You've definitely butchered it.
But this is the player that I'm actually really excited about, because when you talk about versatility, he is that. He is 6'9". He plays the 2 guard.
That is wild, by the way.
It is wild.
6'9" 2 guard. That reminds me a little. Who was that like last year? Is that like? It's not like Zach Jackson, is he?
He's
He's
like
more of a
Evan
3.
Walsh.
Yeah, no, but I mean, who's that? Like, he's a long 2 guard. Isn't he?
Yeah. So I guess like your Zach Jacksons, I suppose, or whoever. But like having and also the wingspan. Yeah. You add the wingspan onto that, and he's incredibly tough, and he's agile. He grew up in the United States, born in Serbia, graduated from Illinois Tech University, began his pro career in Serbia. Now, this is interesting because growing up in the USA, you learn a very different style of basketball to what you play professionally in Serbia. So he's almost got the best of both abilities. And when you watch him play, I'm like, when I'm watching him play, I'm like, I can tell he's had 2 years playing in Serbia, but just because of the way he finishes around the basket, it's very different. But also getting used to that physical play. Everyone says SLB is very much a cross between the European style of play and the American style of play, and that it's physical, it's athletic, but also the European style of game can be a bit slower at times as well. And I think that will do as well in Europe this season, because someone that has the ability to play both sorts of styles can only be good things, right?
I look at our team and I'm like, we can offer so much from so many different people, and I'm really excited that if someone's not on, someone else is going to be on, and all of them have got something that they can offer. And this guy Duglic he looks mean. He looks like he's gonna be aggressive, and I'm excited to see. Will he guard up their 2 guard then, or will he guard up sort of their 3 or 4 guard? What do you think?
Well, that's the beauty of it.
You mix it up.
You can mix it up.
I'm excited.
So that's the way you create the mismatches, because who do you put on him?
Because he's quick enough to even stay with like a quick 2 guard, isn't he?
Well, he's long. A matchup nightmare, which I think a few of our players on the team this season will be. He had 13 points, 5 rebounds against Reading. He had 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists against Newcastle. Great addition. Excited to see him play. And it's one of those signings where I don't think we quite know what we're going to get from him this season. So watch this space.
Do you think he's a little bit of a hidden gem?
Absolutely.
Okay. Good.
Absolutely.
Nice.
So I think you're in for a treat. We spoke about Pasquale Landolfi. Of course, he is back for his 5th season with the club. The final player that joined us was a late addition to the squad. Of course, when I was chatting to Coach Capoulas, he was out at Eurobasket. The squad was pretty much done. There was always space for one final American big. You're just trying to get the right fit, trying to work out terms, whilst also coaching, the assistant coaching the GB national team, writing up scouting reports on all these Eurobasket teams. And we finally managed to get Darnell Brodie.
Man, this guy is big. He is a big guy, isn't he?
Well, he's big. He's 6'10". He's listed as 6'10". Do I think he's a legitimate 6'10"? Maybe in shoes. However, he's a very agile big for his size. And he is broad. When I say to you he's broad, when you see him in person on the court, he's wide as well. And you can tell he's going to be a powerhouse inside for us this season.
He can get up as well, can't he?
Yeah, he can finish around the rim. 6'10". He's played in Mexico over this. It's his 2nd year as a pro. He's had spells around Europe, mainly in Romania last season, and then spent the summer season playing in Mexico. They run their seasons when the UK season finishes, basically.
Like the Canadian league.
Yeah, like the Canadian one, and like you see in Australia as well. He's coming out of Drake University, and 2nd year pro out of Drake University. He averaged 11 points and a team leading 7.9 rebounds per game during his final year at Drake. Started his career in Romania, moved to Hungary, and then, as you say, went to Mexico after that as well. So, entering now his 2nd full season as a pro. I haven't had too much contact time with Darnell Brodie because obviously he arrived on a Thursday. He literally arrived Thursday morning before the Reading game.
Whoa.
We announced him Friday lunchtime. He didn't play Friday's game because obviously he just got off a plane and jet lag and hadn't trained or anything. And then obviously he got 15 minutes in the game away at Newcastle on Sunday. I think he will slowly grow into his role because he's a late arrival to the team. You don't want to put too much, you want to just throw him out there into it. So expect a lot more to come from Darnell Brodie. But yeah, his first basket as a Bristol Flyers player in that Newcastle game, a little cheeky backdoor cut and a 2-handed dunk.
Big dunk as well. Danny boy?
I've listened to all of the new signings. This is the one that I'm most excited about. Big bro. I'm looking at, I love the big men. I think this is going to be great. Nothing better than watching big guys like that beat up the little guys.
That is our roster fully complete. As you say, 2 returning players, loads of new faces, a couple of preseason games under the belt. Got our first game this Friday night. It is against Sheffield Sharks. There are still tickets available for that game at the time of recording. I think this podcast will come out on Thursday, perhaps. Plus, also, look out on Thursday. Hopefully, by the time this podcast comes out, fans will know where and how they can watch games online this season.
Yeah, interesting.
Because it's yet to be announced. But there is a plan in place. So watch this space. And it might not be out till later, and it might come out after this podcast has come out. But as soon as we know, we'll put it out on Flyers channels. So make sure you're following us at Bristol Flyers on all social platforms. Before we move on from this segment, Sam, we've got to give a massive shout out to all our departing players for following the conclusion of their contracts. Some players have retired, as you say, like Leslie Smiths. Rafael Thomas Edwards has moved into a new role as head of Flyers community, which is great, by the way. I really want to get him on a podcast, a community podcast this season, to talk about some of the work he's going to be doing in the community this season. Likes of Corey Samuels, who's moved on. Obviously, Corey Hill with that opportunity out in the States right now. You can follow him on Instagram. He's posting stuff about his experience out there. And then we've got a bunch of out of contract players like Keely Johnson, Damon Robinson, Kendall Lewis, Evan Walsh, Elaine Louis, Ibu Karekwe. We can't thank you enough for your commitment with us during this time with the club. And always, we've seen it here on the podcast last season when we're doing our 20th anniversary episodes. We like to get former players back on the show to find out how they're getting on. So we'd love to do that with some of you guys who are moving on this year. And some of our players are moving on to great opportunities as well. So it'd be great to hear from you further down the line once you're settled into your new seasons. And that's our roster, Sam. Lots to talk about. Hopefully, you've got a better idea of who's who going into Friday's game against the Sheffield Sharks. But without further ado, we've got to talk about some preseason games. Sam, are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
I pressed the wrong button again.
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
First podcast, Matt. You can really let me off for pushing some wrong buttons.
I'm not letting you off anything, mate. This is no, it's great. It's good to, mate. I'm so glad we're back. It's been a little while, so yeah. Preseason games. We're going to talk about them.
Yeah, first game. Flyers played against Reading Rockets. 87-67. The final score. Flyers led by as many as 30 points at one point in the game. Quite a routine win, but really appreciate Reading for coming down to giving us that test, that first test, especially after being together for only 4 days.
I wanted to see Lewis champion, but he wasn't there.
I know. Lou Champ. He actually messaged me. I need to send him the game tape from that game. He messaged me asking if he can watch it back.
In the nicest way, if there is a nicest way, you could tell it had been a week together. There were moments where they didn't know what they were doing all the time, but I already saw improvement in the game on Sunday. So I think, do you know what I mean? It's always going to take a bit of time for the guys to get to know what each other does and how they play together. But hey, really positive start.
Let's talk about the game. Zach Anderson, first points of the game. Cam Holden then followed up with a big dunk. Two-handed dunk. His first basket at the SGS College Arena in a Flyers uniform this time. Love to see it. Rockets found some form in the second quarter. I was very impressed with some of their offense. They had some very talented players in their roster this season.
Yeah, I mean, I'm genuine. What was number 10 called?
Malik Bryant.
Malik Bryant was rapid and would finish unbelievably around the hoop.
The first half came to an end. A bit of ISO Joe time, right?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it already, but he's just unbelievable, Joel. He does this. What he does, you can tell someone who does a move like a crossover or through the legs, whatever, and they've already decided what they're trying to do. They're deciding, I'm going to do a move, and then I'm going to go to the hoop or whatever. But he reacts so well to what the defense does, and is so tricksy with his handle, isn't he?
And Flyers up by 10 at the half. Back out from the break. McCormack hit a 2. Zach Anderson got a layup. And basically, we ran away winners essentially in the end. It was a kind of a routine win. I'll run through some scorers in this game for you. Will Yoakum led the way, 19 points. I've been really impressed with his efficiency, by the way. 7 for 12 from the field, and also very efficient in that Newcastle game as well. Cam Holden had 11. Milos Duglic had 13 points. 3 Flyers in double figures. But you look further down the stat sheet, and then multiple players are getting involved as well. I feel like despite the team perhaps being smaller in number this season, with mainly a 10-person rotation, I felt the depth is bigger. Do you see what I mean?
Completely
in that,
agree.
you can expect contributions from anyone way further down the roster than perhaps you could in previous Flyers seasons, which I think will come to our advantage later down the line. The interesting thing I feel will be how we balance it with European competition as the European games start rolling as well. So that was a big win for Flyers, 20-point win on the Friday. Then we move on to Sunday, Newcastle Eagles. This was a very tight game. Flyers led by as many as 10 in the first half, but are able to rally back after a late Newcastle Eagles comeback in the fourth quarter. Flyers then rally back to take a 3-point win on the road at the Virtue Motors Arena. McCormack, 24 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists.
Mate, that was an unbelievable game by him, wasn't it?
Oh, great.
Probably his best game in a Flyers jersey. No,
it was. It was his highest scoring tally in a Flyers jersey, points-wise.
He came alive. I was loving watching it. It was so good to see, wasn't it?
Yeah, Joe Anderson, Will Yoakum, 15 points each. Again, multiple players getting involved. We can go much deeper, more threats. Different players can get hot on any different night. This game wasn't broadcast, so I can't really run through the play-by-play with you as much. There wasn't a live stats link for it either. We got given a box score at the end of the game, like a sheet of paper, basically. So, we got some stats and stuff in there, but very impressive. Obviously, Darnell Brody had his first game, 15 minutes for him off the bench. Excited to see what he brings later this season. But very impressive signs against the Newcastle Eagles side. Obviously, they were without a couple of guys. They didn't have Darius Defoe playing. There's another player that was missing for them as well.
Ray Sean Taylor went 10 from 10 from the line.
Yeah, he was. I feel like they're going to have to rely quite heavily on him this season in their backcourt. They've got a very impressive roster, though. So, and obviously, they're playing in Europe as well. So, again, interesting to see how both teams handle that moving forwards. That's a little roundup of the 2 pre-season games. We've got lots more to talk about, but I think we're running out of time, really.
Yeah,
so we should probably wrap up.
We've got other episodes, haven't we?
There's loads of episodes to come. So we're going to wrap it up on this week's episode of the Flyers podcast. Thank you so much to everyone for listening to us. If you're listening on all major podcast providers, whether you're watching us on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. We've spoken about this, Sam, but I think the plan for this season is to not return for weekly episodes of the Bristol Flyers podcast.
What? Every other week?
Potentially every other week. So what we're going to do, because a few reasons. One,
you're lazy. You're lazy is the first reason.
One, because doing podcasts every week is a big task.
Well, especially as we've got more games.
European games as well. Sometimes, like, for example, next week, there probably won't be a podcast because we're in Austria on Tuesday, we're in London on Friday, and we've got home to Leicester on Sunday. So, like, I feel like what we're going to do is we're going to get every player on the podcast at least once this season. We're going to get every guest on. And we're going to aim for bi-weekly episodes. But if it's not bi-weekly, it might be once every 3 weeks. It might be once a month.
And there might be a few weeks we do every week for a few. Do you know
exactly.
what I mean?
We might just build up to every week going into the playoffs. So watch this space. We're going to be very fluid with the podcast this season. But thank you for your support. Do like, comment, and subscribe if you are watching on YouTube. Please give us a rating and a review if you're listening on all major podcast providers. And do share it with a friend as well, because it really helps us move up those podcast charts. We want to grow our little Flyers family and our podcast community this season. Sam, anything else you want to add before we wrap up this week's show?
All I'd say is welcome back to the Bristol Flyers podcast. We're looking forward to the season, and I'm looking forward to catching up with everyone when we get down to SGS at some point.
Oh, yes. Opening night this Friday. Go get your tickets. There's still a few more tickets left for Friday's visit of Sheffield Sharks. From Joel, Sam, and producer Dan, we'll see you next time right here on the Bristol Flyers podcast.